Before this video starts, I just want to have a few disclaimer. First of all, this video is done in a very rushed position, so please don't mind the quality. Second of all, this video is also extremely long. So if you only came here to see my completion, please go to the timeline shown on your screen right now. Okay, thank you and enjoy the video. Hello, my name is Frosty, and you probably know that I have completed this level. Well, now I'm here to tell you everything about my journey to beat Prismatic Haze. So, it all started in October of 2025, a few days after I re-beat AQ, and I decided that I would choose a level to beat as my new hardest and my 500 demon. Oh yeah, and of course, as a brilliant idea, I also decided to keep it a secret. And so, after a few minutes of searching around, I stumbled on Prismatic Haze. I initially did a practice run of it, and it seemed pretty fun, and I think I'll beat it relatively quickly, and so I just decided to go for it. At that time, my demon count was around 400 and something, so I started Prismatic Haze at around October 20, 2025. It went quite smooth, although I did struggle with the ending, which is from 56 to 100, like a lot. And I just spent a few days trying to grind out that whole ending to have a feel for it. So after a few days, I eventually got the run, and I decided to learn the earlier parts in the level. And right after I switched back my start position, I always stumbled the infamous 54% wave, which you might know because it is the most popular wave that defines this whole level. If you talk about Prismatic Haze, you cannot left this wave out. I did struggle with that, and after a while I decided that it was a little bit boring, so I just went back and played the earlier parts in the level until I reached the 35 wave, which is one of the major choke points in the level. I also did practice that a bit, and I kept going back until the start. On my third or fourth day, I don't know why I decided to do that, but I saw my demon count was still around 400, so I decided to take a break from this level and go grind some demons. And I did not touch the level for a whole month. I only came back at the end of November to get the feel of it again, and it was going smoothly. Just progressing, although bit by bit. I'm still slowly inching forward every single day. I would have a new best, although it's a few percentage, but it's still pretty good. up until I got to the 35% wave, which I mind blocked a lot, and I got stuck at it for a week or two until I got past it and instantly die at 36%. So the next few days I just kept getting past it and my progress was not being stagnated anymore. So that's pretty good. And so it just happened over the course of November and the whole December. Right at the end of December though, something really interesting happened. At that time, my best was 49%, so I expected my next best will be around 55 or 56%, which into that session I still have that kind of expectation, but you know, things obviously went too far ahead of my plan. I got past 35 and then I got past the 40 transition, which is another really hard thing in my opinion. And then I expected myself to die at the 54 wave, but no, I did not die to 55 or 56, and instead I just got past it and got to the ending the first time. And well, as you probably expect, I will die to around 68% or 72%, but no, I actually got past that too, past all of the hard things, and I started shitting myself. And so, obviously, as I'm really nervous, I died to 83%. Like, I flew from 49% to 83% on Prismatic Haze, and my heart rate literally skyrocketed at that attempt. And you know what? That's not even the single craziest thing I've done, because just 5 minutes later, I did it again. This time getting past 83% and die at 86%, which is absolutely crazy. In one session, my best from 49% jumped straight up into 86%. Like the second half of the ending, my nerves were at all-time high at that point, but so does my ego. And so the next few days, my confidence was just at the peak of itself. I was just constantly passing 35 way. That also makes my confidence skyrocket even higher. And yeah, as a result, over the end of December and whole January, my progress was just getting better and better. Although I did initially die to 55 and 56, and I also died a bit to the ending, but you know, that's really good considering I fluke progress a lot. I did manage to fill in those gaps quite quickly, and so I would just hoping that I'll beat Prismatic soon to fit my 500 demon goal. Another note, at that point my demon count was surpassing 450, so I'm starting to get a bit more worried about my own performance, and so In February, I was just starting to get more and more worried about my progress being not as fast as before. Obviously, I started to lose patience and I just started to crash out a lot more usual. But in those crash out sessions, I did manage to increase my best to 91%, finally reaching the final ship of the level. It kinda motivated me for a bit, but then it just went back to normal. As time went on, I was getting again more and more pressed about my performance as a whole, and so the most expected thing happened. I did not make it. I failed to beat Prismatic Haze as my 500 demon, while my best is at 91%. It was pretty sad, but I kinda expected it, considering this was a really big jump for me. But at that point, I already got 91%, so I'll keep pushing myself. I did create a new goal for me, is to beat this as my 25,000 star level, but this time I won't press myself as much as the 500 demons goal, so it was pretty chill. And I wanted to beat this level as quickly as possible, so at the end of February and the start of March, I just grinded this level like insanely hard. I was just playing this level every single day, and sometimes would just pass 35 a few times in a session and would die to either 40, 41, 42, or if I'm lucky, I would pass that, I would die to 55, 56. Sometimes I would die to the middle part, which just increasing my frustration with this level. The problem with Prismatic Case is that it's not that consistent, especially when you're on mobile. The choke points on PC became exponentially worse on mobile, especially the 35 wave, the 40, 41, 42 transition, and the 54 wave. Also, you need to account that the second half of the level, which in my opinion is extremely nerve-wracking. And so I would just sometimes be absolutely lost with this level, which is not very fun to watch. No! Oh my god. Yeah, I am just really mad. I can't beat this level for my 500 demon, and I will just keep getting stuck to those same choke points over and over and over again. My routine in these months is just wake up, having breakfast, go to school, came back home at the evening, eat dinner, and then start to play the level, and then go to sleep. And it repeats day after day, week after week, month after month. It was really boring and honestly depressing for me. I even deleted Discord off my mobile to make me more concentrated with the level. It did not work that well, and it just threw me to insanity even further. In the middle of March, it did change a bit. I started to gain more consistency with the level, with my peak being getting to the ending 3 days in a row, which in those sessions I did got a new bet, which is 92%. And after those 3 pop-up days, I managed to get another new bet, which is 94% at around March 19. And I just kept getting better and better at the 35 wave because I found a new shot that was perfect for that, and my consistency was just getting better and better over time. But when your hope finally get back to being good after a few weeks of absolutely dreadful, life decided to have a big hit of hammer into your head. In March 26th, I got probably my worst fail in geometry dash, which is 97%. I am just completely shocked. I'm just completely shattered at that point. Obviously, I choked the ending. Thankfully, I did not die to the fish though, cause that would suck a lot. But dying to the last percentage of the level quite sucked for me, cause getting past that ship and you have a 95% chance of beating the level once and for all, and I just did not took that chance. I just threw it out the window. And so, as always, after I got 97%, my progress would just stagnate again. Just getting mind blocked. As always, this time even more serious than before. I eventually got so mad that I would just stop playing at the end of March, which ultimately leading to me also fail with the 25,000 star goal, which ironically I got the maximum star achievement in April Fool's Day, which is pretty ironic, gotta say. Yeah, I took a short break in the start of April, hoping that it would get my consistency back. And as I'm ready to get back to the level, life decided to have like probably the biggest slap in my face. I still remember it like yesterday, bro. It was April 4th, the Sunday morning. I woke up and I had some breakfast, and after that, I would open up my phone and check the message like usual, and then suddenly that one message changed my life. Probably this whole year. My really close friend from high school unfortunately passed away that day. I was just completely shocked after reading that message. Like, I cannot even comprehend what's happening after reading that. Like, my mind was just empty. He was a strong guy. I'm just completely shocked at it. Cause he committed suicide, which, absolutely depressing for me, because he is one of my first friends in high school and one of the few ones who actually stuck with me over time. Like, I still remember his promise to gather the whole class 1 year after the end of high school, which supposedly will happen in the summer of this year, but I guess it will never happen ever. Those days was just a really hard time for me and my class as a whole. I still remember his funeral. It's a really hot day, and his funeral was just silent. Like, a few people just came and left in the middle of nowhere too. I still remember like it happened yesterday. His death definitely affected my mental, like, a lot. I initially took a break at the end of March and to review my strategy to play back in around April 5th, but that day made me took a break for another week to not only revise the strategy for the level itself, but this time to revise myself, my action in the past year, and my values for this family, this community, this society. Uh, you know, Nothing can just all be sad like that forever. I did came back to the level a week later, but this time it was a much different approach. This time now I won't only do it for myself, but will also do it for him. And I just started probably my craziest grind like ever. It was just the same thing, but this time it was far more pressurized. I was more pressed than ever. Like, I was just more mad. At that point, I'm just putting everything, like everything I have, my skill, my mind, my sanity, into this single level to finish it, to free myself from these 5 months of constant failure and frustration. But it just does not work. I push myself onto the absolute limit, but it just does not work. I just kept getting stuck to those same mind blocks over and over again, which is even worse than before, because this time I started to get mind block at the start of the drop too, which drew me even more mad. I was just losing my sanity time over time over time.
Just let me fucking do it, man! I'm so sick of this level!
And then it just reached a turning point at the end of April. I started to talk in the air lounge, and the people in there suggested me two things. First, I should focus on my progress in that day, not my progress as the whole, because that would just make me feel like I'm more incapable of doing things. And every time I get a new best in that day, just calm down, don't be mad. And the second thing is that since I'm mind blocked to the start of the drop, they suggested that I should Uncle Sam that first few parts of the drop, which is the strategy that Doggy used to get more consistent in Silent Club set. It will make you more consistent with that specific part of the level. I did apply those two strategies, and it just happens to affect my skill instantly. The first day I applied, I got really consistent at it. I'm finally getting to the ending after nearly a month of not getting past the 54 wave at all. And I did actually got 3 ending attempts in that session, with the first one being 61%, the second one being 92. And the most surprising thing is that my third ending attempt is also my completion attempt. Apparently, yeah, I beat the level. In May 1st, 2026, the first day of applying that strategy, which made me really surprised, because all of that hard work, all of those 6 months of grinding finally ended in a really random way. But again, I'm really happy that I did beat the level. That completion went a little bit unexpected for me, but I finally beat it. Started in October 2025, and in May 1st, 2026, I completed it. It took me around 6.5 months total, including breaks. With all yapping out the way, I now finally could present to you my hardest completed demon. What? What? That was so random. That was so random. That was so random. That was out of nowhere. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Oh my god. I beat it. I learned a lot from this experience as a whole, and I felt like this is probably it. I felt like this is probably my hardest I could ever do in Geometry Dash. So this could be my final hardest demon, at least on mobile, because I'm still have the capability of doing more things on my keyboard. But who knows? Maybe I will just be better in the future and maybe beat something harder in like what 2 years on this shitty 60 hertz phone. But nah, I would keep Prismatic Haze as my hardest right now. Not going to change it too soon. I want to say thank you for everyone who support me through this whole journey. I still remember every time the session ends, I was just starting to crash out, and you guys will still be there, be supportive for me. Whether you know what I'm playing or not, you would still be very supportive for me, and honestly, I can't help but thank you for everything you all have done to me. All of those supported comments were the only reason why I kept playing this level. Otherwise, I would just drop this level a long while ago. This completion is dedicated to the TSF server in particular and the Geometry Dash Vietnamese community in general. The Zeronium Level server, which is one of my main chilling areas. The Air Lounge, which is the first and the only place I review my progress from the start. And finally, you. Once again, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.